and I would be sitting in the left turn lane waiting for it to like finally flash yellow and I can go.
Just like counting the fast.
Yeah. Do you ever do that too?
You count fat people crossing the street?
Yeah, I'm on.
Hey guys, this is Elijah Vargas from the Goalsful Podcast. Can you guys introduce yourselves?
My name is Haley Kern. I'm from Colorado Springs, Colorado, and this is...
Hey everybody, I'm Austin Davidson. I'm from Dallas, Texas, and I'm presenting myself today on the Goalsful Podcast as a health guru, and y'all are gonna, find that out later.
So I wanted to ask you guys, because, yesterday we had this performance. What did you guys think of the lip sync battle?
So I came in really confident, and I was like, oh, our dance is so great. I've been showing all my friends, and then they were saying my dance is great. But I guess maybe 10 minutes into the actual performances, I knew we were going to lose. It was just like a reality check. But, you got to stay humble sometimes. What about you, Austin?
Yeah, I agree. Like, I was watching it and, seeing the frats and sororities go. Obviously, I knew we weren't, competing with them or anything. But I think it was, Billy Joel that won, right?
Yeah.
I don't even remember seeing theirs, honestly.
I think
But after rewatching the video of ours several times, I still think we were, a top 5 performance.
Yeah.
Because, I chatted with my friends personally, and they were like, Austin, you killed it. You did so good. It's probably, top 3 in my book. So I thought we did really well.
Yeah.
We brought the energy and everything. I was like, first one on the stage, I was like, let's get hype here. And I thought we did well.
Yeah, I think personally ours was very creative, cause we had the shit with the bird, and then just a few other aspects of it were very creative that you don't really see in the other ones where they're just snapping back and forth. Yeah, we had a small group too, which I think it's more impressive when we do it like that. What was your guys' favorite performance besides ours?
Well, I'm a little biased because Billy Joel that won. That's my third roommates group, so I was a little biased. But I thought Justin Timberlake's, whatever RSP that was.
Yeah, I think that one was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought JT's was pretty good. Not from RSP groups, but obviously the winner. I thought Rihanna's was really good. They had really good outfits and everything. They had that one person who was wearing the red hoodie, and everyone else was wearing white. But everybody there was actually seemed like a professional dancer and everything, and they just choreographed really well.
Yeah, I like how they actually, because our group, we didn't have an outfit we looked mismatched and shit.
It was me, Zoe, maybe one other person wearing red.
Yeah.
Aside from that, it was a lot of white and black.
Yeah.
But we made up for it with the dance and everything. So. Yeah,
honestly, I think. Do you think we would have done way better if we had matching? It would have been a confidence boost, or do you think we would have possibly won, or something like that?
I don't know. Some groups did look more put together than ours, but I think it's all about the dance, if I'm being honest. We had a few things where we could have done better. Maybe we did do the Pine Grove Shuffle just a tad bit too long. But other than that, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we definitely brought the creativity because I didn't see anybody else doing something like the Pine Grove Shuffle. That's more contemporary type of dance.
Yeah.
Everyone was doing classics like Michael Jackson. They were doing the moonwalk, and obviously you've got to do that when you have that sort of artist. But we just brought in that DJ Khaled flair that nobody else had.
Exactly, dude.
And it just didn't really matter for us to have the matching apparel. We just brought the energy and everything. So
yeah, I think that's definitely the most important part. So whenever I do these podcasts, I like to make sure to go through your guys' background so people know who the fuck you are and why I'm talking to you. It also gives credibility later whenever you're talking about whatever you're going to talk about. You know what I mean? Right. So where did you guys grow up?
I have lived in Colorado Springs my whole life, and it's actually pretty good town, little like Omaha. They have better streets than Omaha, I've learned. Have you drove? It's kind of confusing.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Yeah, all the one-ways and everything make it difficult to know if you're going the right way.
And there's no medians. like separating the south traffic from the north traffic.
Yeah.
It's
Nah, I don't
confusing,
like
but
that.
What about you?
Yeah, well, to add on that, so I went and got a fresh cut today over at Great Clips, and I drove over to Council Bluffs, Iowa, and I remember just like going under like 5 different underpasses just to get onto 480, and there were like gardens and shit going out on the sidewalks. I had to stop at multiple stop signs, and it felt like I was in the middle of an intersection because there weren't any medians or anything, and I just like didn't really know what I was doing. There were a lot of cops on the road. But anyway, yeah, so I'm from Dallas, Texas. I was born in Arlington, and I lived there for a while. That's where the Cowboys play, if y'all don't know. And then I moved up to Grapevine, which is like a nicer suburb, 30 minutes north of Dallas. And I was like raised there and everything. I went to high school in Southlake, the neighboring town. Played football there, and it was a nice area, but kind of glad to be somewhere new in Iowa, Omaha now. But yeah, it's pretty neat here. I like it.
Yeah, me too. I like the first time that I came here was like September of last year, and I remember because I would go for runs like every morning. There was nobody outside. Even like in the evening, there'd be nobody outside. It was crazy. There was like, I don't know if it was the time of the year or like the time that I was outside, but there was nobody. It was like an empty city. And then when like everybody's moving into Creighton, it's like fucking there's so much traffic. There's people like in the parks. There's people everywhere. It's crazy. I think it's just like 2 different times a year that.
Yeah, I've noticed like last week whenever we moved in, this city just feels like so much more walkable and everything than Dallas ever was for me. Like I feel like I'm in Europe a little bit, except it's really ugly here. Because, like, I'm able to get 20,000 steps a day easy because I go anywhere just by foot. I brought my truck here to go get a haircut or whatever, but it's nice being able to walk. And I felt like kind of the opposite, I guess. Like, whenever you go over to Old Market, you go downtown, you go to the Capital District, there's a lot of people walking around. You just kind of have to be in the right area.
Yeah.
It is a really big city, and there's a ton of concrete, open spaces, parking lots and shit. So it can feel empty and like kind of vacant at times, but there are a lot of people walking here.
Yeah, that's what I noticed. There's like certain parts of the city that are just like there's a ton of people. It's crazy. So what kind of things were you guys interested in when you guys were younger? What was like sports or hobbies?
Well, I've been playing lacrosse for like I want to say 12 years. So it is quite a bit of time. And then I was like, I don't know if I want to play in college or not, but since I've been playing it so long, I was like, I don't really want to give it up because then when I'm like 20, I don't know, can't really do anything with it. So got to use it while I can. So I am going to play for the Creighton lacrosse team. And then, I don't know, I had this like weird obsession with the Titanic when I was younger. Like, I learned every fact about it.
How'd you feel about the submarine most recently?
Yeah, what do you think of that?
I think it's like rich people exploiting their richness.
Yeah.
So are you glad that they sank? Is that what you're saying?
Honestly, I'm not glad that they sank, but it is like, I think they should have just done maybe more a scientific approach and just waited a few more years until they had the right like technology.
That's fair enough. I want to go back to lacrosse because I don't understand that sport. Can you kind of explain? Is it more like hockey or is it like...
It's like a mix of hockey and then soccer. So they have like the same positions as soccer, except, I don't know, it's like more... To me, I think it's more skill-based because you have to like catch a ball with a tiny little stick. It takes a lot of practice, but...
Yeah, I know that like lacrosse was big where I was, but it was like mostly white people. Where we lived in like a predominantly like Indian community, which is weird, but it was like white people got together and then they played lacrosse. I don't know what it was though. I never understood the sport. I couldn't understand. Where did it come from? Do you know like where it came from?
It's a Native American sport.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool though.
What did they make the nets out of and everything? Do you know?
Like cat skin. I know that.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like wild cats, like mountain lions and stuff?
Yeah, I have like a really old lacrosse stick from one of the Native Americans. And yeah, it's like cat leather. It's kind of
pretty
cool.
That's
yeah.
crazy. What about you, Austin? What were you like? What hobbies?
My childhood interests were sports. Like I played a lot of soccer. I played football. I played basketball for a little bit, but I stuck with football throughout high school. So I played till I was a senior, and then I graduated. I considered playing in college a little bit, just like Haley, except I wasn't like very, I wasn't the best in my class or anything. So I was trying to get recruited by like D2s or D3s. I considered like Coast Guard Academy, Merchant Marine Academy. Their coaches were in contact with me a little bit. But I, gravitated toward a different path. And, I guess I was never interested in the Army as a kid and never really wanted to serve or anything, but here I am doing that at Creighton. So I guess, never really had an interest, but I'm here doing that now. Sports. I like video games as a kid. I have like a weird obsession with architecture and shit too. Like I would be like, if you gave me some grid paper, I'd like sketch up a house or something, and I would just like fantasize my dream house and shit.
That's cool.
So yeah, I was pretty good at that. I have a big folder full of like 100 drawings probably.
Why didn't you get into architecture?
That's what I wanted to go to college for originally. I wanted to go to Rice down in Houston because they have like one of the best engineering architecture programs in the country. And then I saw how hard it was to get into Rice, and I was just like, fuck that. So here I am at Creighton. It's still a very prestigious school. Like, whenever we hear the dean or the president or something talking about how, like, the accolades of these kids, like, they're valedictorians and stuff, like, that's not me. But there's so many kids here that are like that. So it just feels good to be amongst a crowd like that, even though, I made good grades and everything, but it's still nice to be at a good school, even whenever you were more like average, slightly above average, that type of thing.
Yeah, that's kind of like me. So what you're doing now, it's like ROTC, right? What does that entail?
Yeah, so ROTC stands for Reserve Officer Training Corps. Essentially, you just pay. You don't pay anything actually for college. You sign a contract with the Army. They pay for all your tuition and room and board and fees and all that shit. And then you have to go serve in the Army for like 5 years. So that's what it entails. And during college, you have to do like physical training in the mornings, 3 days a week. So today's Sunday. So tomorrow and Monday, and then Wednesday and Friday, we'll like wake up really early and go do some training and stuff.
That sounds cool. I don't know if I do that, but that sounds cool.
Haley, do you want to talk about that a little bit? I know you were kind of considering it.
Yeah, I did get the scholarship for Army ROTC, but I don't know, it's like super rigid. You don't really have much like flexibility with ROTC. I mean, like you can go into any career you want, I guess, within the Army, but I don't know, you're just kind of stuck there for 5 years, and I wasn't too sure if that's what I wanted to do, so I decided to take another avenue. I was lucky enough to get another scholarship offer, so that was good. And I think it has like a nice community feel, the ROTC. It's just a lot of commitment.
Yeah, I could see that from the outside in. You guys seem to like I know when you're talking to what's her name? When I see like Austin and Ella talking about that, I mean, like you both know what you're talking, like you both know what's going on with like ROT. You know what I mean? Like it sounds
I
like
really don't know what's going on. Like, they'll use like lingo that I've never heard. Like I'm considered an MS1, which I don't even know what that means. It's essentially like a freshman, but then they talk about like OLP, which is like your score that you have to get throughout your 4 years. And then that score translates into like a tier of jobs that you can get. And obviously you want the best tier of jobs, so that way you're like not
what's the test that you have to take for that?
Yeah, so
the ASFAB, isn't that what it's called?
I don't think you have to take that, but you can. if
Yeah.
you want.
I think that the ASVAB that you're referring to is for like enlisted people.
Oh yeah.
So if you're like 18 years old, you don't want to go to college, you just want to enlist right away, you got to take that test. It's like it's like literature and stuff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think
that's more like, academic testing. I didn't really have to do any of that. I mean, to get the scholarship I did, but now it's just like training and stuff.
Yeah, I feel that. So what's your guy like? Can we go back to like your past like high school and stuff? What's your favorite like high school memory?
Yeah. Probably like bus rides for my traveling for lacrosse and all that. That was pretty fun. And then other than that,
What's like the craziest thing that happened? Like on the
we
bus.
got robbed once.
What the fuck? Yo, how?
The bus got robbed?
Yeah, the bus got robbed. And so my coach, tracked down this robber at a gas station. And, we basically held him up and was like, we need our stuff back. Why'd you do that? Yeah, it was actually crazy.
How did he rob it? Was it like you guys parked and then got out the bus and then
Yeah,
robber
and then he
comes
broke
inside?
into it.
What the fuck? What
And
did he
stole,
take?
He stole a bunch of, uniforms, which, what are you going to do with that? And then he, stole a girl's fanny pack, stuff like that.
What the fuck?
Yeah, but that was pretty crazy. We were in Denver, too, so it wasn't, the most superb of communities, but we got our stuff back eventually. Just had to find him, track him down. But other than that, I don't know. It was, pretty quiet freshman and sophomore year. Then I kind of, blossomed my junior year and senior year, and I went out more. And I went to, dances and all that. That was pretty fun. You just have to, make the most of it, I think.
Yeah.
How about you, Austin?
So memorable experiences.
Yeah, what's your favorite? Yeah.
I don't know. I think memorable experiences are probably high school football. So South Lake Carroll is a pretty notable program in Texas. Texas is kind of known for the football. So we had a big ass team, a lot bigger than most kids graduating classes that I met here in Creighton. We had 150 kids or something. So there would be parties and stuff and things going on in the locker rooms, and shit would just get kind of wild sometimes. But it was just nice, creating a bond with those guys, even though I kind of didn't like the sport at times and it was tough and everything, but you had good guys around you, so it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I feel that. Going into, so I want to know what started your whole, because I know at the beginning you said that you're a health nut. So what was that? Did that start when you started to play football? Was that something where you wanted to eat healthy to be good in football, or was it how did that start?
Yeah, so I don't really think football influenced it, but during my junior year, I was 60 pounds heavier. I really needed to bulk up to play my position. I played tackle in football, so they wanted me really heavy. So I would go to McDonald's after school every day. I would spend $20 on some Big Macs or something, and I gained weight so fast. I was going to the gym. It was the biggest I've ever been, and it was kind of nice being that way. And then I just looked at myself at the end of the day or something, and I was like, this is fucking disgusting. I look horrible. And it felt nice being all big and stuff, I guess, but I don't know. I can talk for days about the conspiracies about the health industry and seed oils and all that bullshit. And I just know I was consuming so many of those during my junior year to gain that weight. So whenever it finally hit that next summer or senior year, I just needed to tone it all down, get back to whole foods and clean water and just a healthier diet in general.
So it stemmed from you being real big.
Yeah, sorta. And I guess you could say the TikTok algorithm helped a little
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Because the Chinese CCP really helped me out there.
Yeah.
They gave me some good tips, some good creators out there just looking out for a brother, so it was nice.
Can you define or can you describe how it felt nice to be big? Because I was wondering about that.
Yeah, it felt nice being big. So I'm 6'4". Y'all probably can't tell from the camera, But that was actually like an average height in my high school, just because it was like straight dogs in there. But we were all like really tall, so being like heavy as well, I just felt like a fucking beast. Like I was just like just huge. So I don't know, it was kind of nice. Yeah, I just played better whenever I was that heavy, I guess.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see that. Dude, as a wrestler, I've seen some kids eat like insane amounts of food.
After their matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my friend
right
gained
before
like
they gotta go.
my friend gained like 15 pounds like overnight. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Well, you have to like keep in a certain weight, right? In order
Yeah.
to compete.
So his thing was he had to be 182 by, like the day of. He walks in 195. So he's got to lose a lot of weight, right? So he's running, he's doing stairs, he's got layers on. Eventually, he makes weight just in time for the match, loses the match, goes to the Noodles and Company the next, that night, sends us a picture in the group chat of the scale, and he was 195 again.
Damn.
So he dropped, 15, how many pounds is that, 14?
Yeah, like 13 or 14.
Yeah, so he dropped all of that and then gained it back in, a night. Dude, it was insane. But yeah, what's the craziest amount of food that you've consumed? Whether it's at a buffet or fucking...
I don't even know. So there's this place in Texas called Babe's Chicken, and it's family style chicken. So I don't know if y'all know what family style is.
Describe family style.
You never heard of that? Family style? Like family style food? So they bring out massive plates for a big group of people, and everyone just kind of grabs from the plate instead of having their own serving.
Yeah.
And so they give you 2 whole chickens per person of fried chicken.
Damn.
And yeah, you just it's a lot of calories whenever you consider all that fried chicken.
Damn, okay.
And then they give you an endless amount of salad on the side, cream corn, green beans. The biscuits are really good. And it's just really fattening Southern cooking, but it's so good. So I don't know, that's probably it.
Yeah, I mean, by me, we just got Raising Cane's and KFC and shit, so that sounds epic.
Yeah, it's really good.
Haley, I wanted to ask you, I think it was one of our first practices for the lip sync, right?
Mm-hmm.
You mentioned that you would caught a really big fish.
Oh.
Can you
Yeah.
Can you kind of explain that story?
It was my first time fishing. My friend's family took me to Walsenburg. It's this super small town in Colorado. And I caught the biggest fish to this date that has ever been caught in the Walsenburg Lake. I got put the Walsenburg magazine for it. So I honestly don't know what kind of fish it was, but I want to say 50 inches, something like that. I don't know, but yeah, I was 15 maybe, and so I did have to have some help reeling it into the boat, but technically I caught it. So.
Of course, yeah. Do you know what you used to catch that? Was that a worm? Was that fake bait? Was that you don't remember? You don't remember?
I think it was just I don't know, those red pellets that smell like fish food.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about? You open it up and it just stinks really bad. Yeah, I think I used that, but it was an industrial type fishing rod, which was kind of cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I haven't gone fishing in a few years.
That's my fun fact.
So you said that was your first time fishing. Have you been fishing since then?
Yeah, I don't know, just river fishing, which you don't really catch anything if I'm being honest, but it's just fun to go. I think it's called the South Platte in Colorado, and it's in the mountains. So
South Platte runs through here, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't know.
I think
No
does.
idea.
I'm not good with geography,
I think it
but
does.
So you said there's not a lot of fish. What what kind of fish are there?
I have no
You know, I like
idea.
you. There's like,
I just do
is
it
there
for
like, is
fun.
there any fish? There's some fish, right? Are they like smaller fish or?
Oh, it's this really big fish in Colorado. But you have to like catch and release, I'm pretty sure. You can't like take it with you. I forget the name of, maybe it's rainbow trout, I don't know.
Yeah, Colorado's got. I'm not like a huge fisherman, but I know a little bit. They got brown trout. They got rainbow trout. Like Colorado's just known for like that mountain trout fishing. That's kind of their thing. Did you ever do like fly fishing or anything? Did you know about that?
I know what it is, but I've never done it, no. Maybe that's my new hobby. Maybe I'll get into that.
Yeah, since you already caught the biggest fish in Watauga County or whatever.
Walsenburg, yeah.
Waldenburg.
Don't be too impressed. It's like,
Is the magazine still in circulation?
I highly doubt it. There's like 200 people in Walsenburg, so it's not too impressive, but it's a fun fact of mine.
Do you have the magazine framed in your house?
I do not,
Oh
no.
man.
Do you wish you did?
I do, yeah. But unfortunately, I didn't think it was a big deal at the time, so I just threw it away.
Yo.
Yeah, but it is a fun fact.
Somebody's gotta have it. I wanted to ask you guys, why did you guys choose Creighton over other schools?
I wanted to have a campus next to a city, and even though like Omaha wouldn't be like my first choice, it is like, it's a nice town. It's more like, it's more fun than I was expecting it to be. But yeah, my like thing my senior year, I like kept telling people I love the Creighton campus, but I wish it was like, I don't know, next to Boston or something.
Oh, like a different city?
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I kind of agree. I didn't necessarily want to be near a city or anything. It's just I enjoy the size of the campus, only like 4,500, 5,000 students or something. So I wanted a little, smaller community where I can kind of get to know almost everybody in my class. Like it's been nice just, meeting everybody on my dorm floor, like floor 5 of Swanson. I know almost everybody. They're all pretty cool guys. The dorms are all really nice. And I think the attention to like each student within your major is really nice too, because my biggest class is biology and there's probably 100, 120 or so kids max. And that's unheard of in other universities like Texas A&M, that's where my sister goes. And like her freshman year, she would have classes with like 600 students. So once you actually narrow it down to your major, by the time you're a junior or senior, you're going to be in classes with like 15 kids, 30 kids maybe, and that's just really nice in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. Even now I have like a ton of classes with just like a ton of my very first class here, I had like 4 seniors and I was like one of 3 freshmen. That was scary for me. I don't know, but every other class seemed fine. Like there was classes with just all freshmen.
Yeah, it's definitely nice because it just feels like high school where I'm not like super afraid of like speaking out in class. But if I was like in a class with 600 people like Austin said, I would be like a teensy bit nervous to like say the answers to questions and all that. So I like that about Creighton. It's more like individualized.
Yeah, it feels like glorified high school to me.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like it feels like high school, but the academics are like definitely teensy bit harder.
Especially at like Graves, it feels like a resort and then high school.
Mhm.
It's really weird. I was talking about that with Miguel earlier, but so he just put a heart behind camera for those that didn't see. What are you guys excited about for Creighton this year? Whether it's like certain events, doing certain things, or
Actually, they mentioned a luau. That sounds kind of fun. I do like experiencing like other people's cultures, so I would go to that. Other than that, I don't really know. Meeting new people, I suppose.
I've never been like huge into basketball, but that's one thing Creighton's known for. probably like the only thing they're known for. It's really what put them on the map this like, past year. So, I mean, like, if you're a Jesuit or Catholic, you know about Creighton. But if you're just a normal person, now you know about Creighton because of basketball. So, yeah, I'm excited to watch basketball games. I've heard you have to get there, like, really early to actually get a good seat or any seat at all. So, yeah, going to those. I'm excited to join the clubs and everything. We've got the Scott Shutdown coming up pretty soon. So they've got like a lot of clubs going on. I'll probably join like some, I don't know, like nature clubs or something. So,
Bro, you gotta join the Green Jays.
yeah, Green Jays is a big one. I don't like agree with everything they say, but they're just big on recycling. So.
Or you can just make your own club, like do something water-based. Teach people that you should just put a pinch of salt in your water.
Everybody's got the wrong idea about my water. Like, it's just something. It's something I do. It's not like an actual passion of mine. Like, I'm not out here, preaching to people that they need to get the $400 water filter. And that's like something I have in my dorm room because like I said, health is a priority for me. So like, I gotta, take those. I gotta do that stuff. So, but like water's not that big of a deal. It's not concerning the environment or anything. So, like, I wouldn't join a club or make something like that. But
You think that like the stuff that like right now, like with the health and stuff, you think that like you're gonna live like real long? It's like like longer than most. What I mean is like longer than most people.
I don't know. I don't think so, honestly. I think I'll live like an average lifespan, or maybe shorter. I don't know.
Why would you say that? Like, I feel like, why would you focus so much on health if you don't think you're gonna live?
Well, yeah. So that's the thing. Like, I'm not so interested in longevity. If I was interested in longevity, I would do a fucking vegan diet because it's like known that if you just eat straight up like a very small amount of calories, like just rice and potatoes and just small little grains like that, you're gonna live a long time. But by the time you're 70, you're also like some scrawny old ass vegan who just looks super unfit, and that's just not something I want to do. I want to look like some dude who looks like a fucking caveman who's like eating red meat every day and shit. Like, I just want to be I'm more concerned with vitality instead of longevity. I just want to be like very fit by the time I'm older, even if that means I live less long.
I understand what you're saying, and that makes sense.
Yeah.
You want to be like, oh shit, what was I gonna say? You want to be more fulfilled.
Exactly. I want to have a fulfilling life. I want to live deliberately, as Henry David Thoreau said.
It's insidious.
Yeah.
So I asked what you guys are excited for. What are you guys scared of for college?
Honestly, like, Canvas kind of freaks me out because of all the due dates. Like, in high school, everything was due at, like, 11:59, and, like, you got assigned an assignment, and then in 2 days it was due at 11:59, and so just, like, keeping up with the dates, because if you, like, miss an assignment, you're kind of, like, SOL. They're not gonna really help you in any way. Plus, like, the grades, it's more, I don't know, I'm trying to get my 4.0, so that's a goal.
I do like that it's all in one place.
Yeah, that's true.
Because in high school, I mean, we actually used Canvas, but we had a separate one that kept track of all our grades, so we had to keep going back and forth and checking, like, because sometimes the grade on Canvas wasn't as accurate, so they put a different grade in the grade book, or it'd be like better or worse, and you're like, bro.
I did like in high school that you could just like pull up the grade portal or whatever, and then it would show you like all the percentages you got on the assignments and like tally it up for you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's easier to keep track of your grades.
What did you guys use for that?
Infinite Campus.
Yeah, we did too. Yeah.
I don't know what Infinite Campus is. I used Canvas, which we use now, and then for like checking grades, I used something called Skyward, and it would just like tell you your grade by the term or semester, whatever you wanted. But yeah, I agree that it's kind of nice that we have everything all in Canvas, it's really easy to check your grades. Like you can plug in a score and it'll tell you how this is going to affect your GPA or whatever. So yeah, that's nice, but it's a little weird here in college just because every professor does things a little differently. So like some will post things to the to-do list, and others will just post it to modules, and some will put it on the calendar, and some will just email you. And it's just like kind of hard to keep track of all those things. So yeah, I kind of agree with Haley. Like definitely the biggest struggle of college so far, just keeping up to date with everything, making sure you're on track. Like right before this, I was writing down things on a physical calendar, like figuring out when all my exams are. Studying is like just tough. I'm taking chemistry, and it's just hard for me to like figure out where all the resources are. And I don't know, I'm trying, but we'll see once a real exam comes around.
Yeah, I feel you. So my summer job, I want to go back to what you said about Skyward, because we use Skyward for everything. It was where we put in like our hours and we logged our times on. So how does that work for school? That's what I want to ask, because I don't understand how, like, I don't know if there's like two different Skywards or.
Yeah, there might be two different Skywards, because mine was real simple. You just like plug in your like school account credentials, and it'll just like tell you your grade. Like teachers plug in what grade you got on an assignment, and then it would update your total grade for that class. Yeah, so I think it was completely.
Yeah, or it might be the same one, because I know it had like a thing for educators that was separate. It might have had one for student that I didn't realize, but they also had like maintenance staff, or just like building staff. So yeah, that's where I was. I put in my hours for each week, and then I get the paycheck on there too. So I could see that and look back, and they kept fucking it up, and I kept getting like the wrong, like I'd work like a full week and get like $400. I'm like, I'm out here working full time, like.
How much were you getting paid per hour?
15, but like.
That's not bad.
8-hour weeks. I was supposed to be getting like. If I'm getting paid $400, I get paid bi-weekly. I was supposed to be making $600 a week, but I was getting paid $400 for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
that's
not good.
That's like a quarter of what I should have been getting paid. So I was just really pissed off. And then my last paycheck, they finally got it right, and I got like $2,000.
Dang.
That shit was. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about my financial like shit on my podcast, but I don't give a fuck.
It's your podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you work any jobs, Haley?
I did. I worked at Lifetime over the summer. That was really fun. I'm basically like a smoothie connoisseur because I've only worked at smoothie places. So I can make a real good smoothie. And other than that, I don't know. It wasn't like super. I didn't make a lot. But
yeah.
Okay.
Is there any like do you know if there's any like smoothie places around here? Like if you found
maybe I should work at one though.
Yeah, if you found one, would you
I have the
work there?
resume for it. I don't know. Maybe I'll pursue another career path for college. I was thinking like about waitressing, but that'd be kind of a hike to get to, I don't know, the downtown area of Omaha, like every single night. But I don't know. We'll see.
You should be like a blender engineer. That'd be lit.
That's true. I should pursue that.
So I wanted to ask, what is your guys' favorite thing about Omaha that's different from like your city, and would you live in Omaha after college?
I don't think I would live in Omaha after college. Just because, I don't know. I haven't like really experienced it, so I can't solidify my answer. But I like that there's like more local shops and restaurants and all that. Like there's not a restaurant in the downtown area that I've ever seen before. So that's kind of cool.
I like that. I wanted to build off of that. I like that it feels more like a community in Omaha. Like everyone's together. Like when you go to Chicago, you got like one side's White Sox, one side's Cubs. You got like gangs on one side, you got gangs on the like it's literally everybody's at each other's throats. Nobody, like, it feels like everybody's not on the same side.
That's true.
But in Omaha, it's like everybody comes together. They go to that fucking Jean Lay Park, or they go to fucking, what's it called? Old Market.
Old Market.
They go to Old Market. Everybody's together, and it feels like it's cool to see coming from like Chicago. I mean, I'm from the suburbs, but it's still kind of the same thing in the suburbs.
Yeah, like you mentioned Old Market, and that's like one of the things I really like about Omaha. They have this farmers market that opens every Saturday from like 8 to 12 in the morning. And it's just like local vendors and like ranchers and, you know, produce farmers and stuff. So you can kind of like buy locally and everything and kind of support the community. Everybody there is just like really nice. They get along. So yeah, I agree that Omaha's got a better community. And it's part of the reason why I wanted to go to school here. I mostly just wanted to get away from Dallas anywhere. I consider like Montana State. I would have gone to Billings or wherever, honestly. But I think Omaha is cool because it's right in the center of the country. So I did bring my truck so I can like go camping or whatever, wherever I want. Colorado, Wyoming, they're not too far away, like South Dakota. So I like being like in a new environment to experience new things. But I would definitely not live here. I would go somewhere further away.
So if you could live, this question's for both of you. If you could live anywhere, where would you live?
Plano, Texas. It's like the best city I've ever been to.
No. Austin disagrees.
I just remember like there were like shopping centers and around like a huge fountain, and it was super pretty, and then like all the houses were made of brick, which I think it's because like they have tornadoes or something. So, but I don't know, I just like the vibe of Plano, Texas.
What time of year did you go?
Like the fall.
Like September?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still really hot in September, but if you go like, you just, once you live in Texas for a few years, I feel like everybody wants to leave. Like, sure, they have like, I don't know, if you're like a business guy or something, sure, like you can open a business in Texas. It's like business friendly or whatever. It's a good place to live. Like the housing's pretty affordable and everything. Plano is a growing area, so they do have a lot of shops and nice things like that. But I don't know, like just like trust me, that's not where you want to live. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, Plano was like an hour from me. There's a few people here at Creighton that are from like Frisco, which is really close to Plano, like McKinney and everything. It's all a really like booming area just north of Dallas. But yeah, personally, I don't like it. If I could live anywhere, I'd probably live in like, I don't even know. I really like the Southwest. I love like Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, Colorado. All those areas are really cool. I think Idaho is pretty sweet. It's a sleeper state for sure. Like nobody knows about it. It's like a lesser known Montana. It's really beautiful. It's still kind of wild, so you can, you know, get affordable land and, you know, start a little community out there of your own. So that kind of appeals to me.
Would you like, this question for you, Austin? I feel like when you say like have your own land, would you be like one of those people that, you know, like live off the like have like cows and like slaughter cows, like start eating the meat and like you have like a well, like purified water, shit like that, like you take out your bow and start like
shooting animals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would totally do that. Just a short answer. That's something I've wanted to do for like a while. Like I said, whenever I was talking about architecture and everything, that's like something I would kind of idealize. Like that's like the future home that I kind of wanted. So I would like build these formats, like the type of house I wanted, and then like, you know, I want to live in this area, do these sorts of things. I probably wouldn't want to like raise livestock because I know people who do that and it's like a lot of work. But I would just want, you know, somewhere that's more affordable, have land where you can do things on it, not just, you know, sit in your 2,000 square foot backyard in like a suburb or something like.
Yeah, I feel that.
Like that's just not me.
What steps are you guys currently taking, that are like towards your future, that you want?
Right now, I'm just trying to like knock out the like general freshman requirements, Magiscore or whatever. I know they like build on top of each other, but I'm doing the 3-for-3 law program, so trying to kind of be more accelerated with my courses. So I don't know, that's one thing.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing the same thing, trying to knock out the Magiscore, like taking theology class right now. It's not super interesting. It's not something I really like, but you got to do it anyway. I got to take philosophy too, which I actually do like. So I'm looking forward to that. But yeah, just, taking a lot of classes in general. I'm taking like 17 and a half this semester. So I don't know, just getting a head start.
Damn, okay. What kind of things do you guys like value? So when I say value, I mean like legacy, time, respect, like stuff like that. What kind of things do you guys value?
Guess just like the general like respect, integrity, compassion, stuff like that. And then for me, it's like community, having a bond with others, and like, I don't know, like giving back, paying it forward type stuff. So
I think that's like very important though. A lot of people overlook that because they want to stick to themselves and, build on themselves so much that like they don't need other people. I've been like that for a while, but I think it's important to have people around you that
that's
are
bad.
working together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, selfishness is bad because then when you're in a pickle, no one's gonna look out for you. Wise words.
It's important. Pickle Rick.
I wouldn't call it like selfishness necessarily. I think staying on your purpose, building yourself is important. It's not necessarily like selfishness, like, because I'm that type of guy, honestly. Throughout high school, like junior year all the way through there, I was like hanging out with the wrong people and stuff. So my senior year, I really focused on myself, like doing things that made me happy, wellness and health, and like reading and going outside and shit. So doing those sorts of things just made me feel better. And I feel like at Creighton, I've just been able to find people who enjoy those same sorts of things. So I think whenever you build up on yourself a lot, it allows you to kind of like open the doors to find people similar to you and just create better bonds instead of, just going out and seeing like how many friends I can get within this first week and that sort of thing. Like, that's just not the right approach to life, I feel like.
I want to ask, how do your values right now, I want to ask like, how do your values like shape your future that you want? So like what I mean is because I value legacy. So like with this podcast, I want to shape my legacy around the podcast, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. Like if I have kids, I want them to carry on the legacy, you know what I mean?
You want to do go this whole?
Yeah, but like no, I mean like I value legacy, and so that's in my future. If they do, that'd be awesome.
You want your kids to do go this whole? So if this page blows up, like you have 1 million subscribers by the time you're like 30 and you have like 2 little kids. You're gonna like. I
just mean that's a separate. What I mean is that's like a separate legacy. That's another example of legacy.
So would you put your kids on the podcast and like just teach them?
Sure. Maybe I'll have them like in the background while I'm talking to somebody smart and they can learn, or I'll have them like listen to my episodes. I mean, that's not really what I mean by the question.
Little Timmy, stuff like that.
Yeah. What was that?
Like asking them what's the concept of life.
Yeah, just like real deep question. Have them think about it. Yeah. So does your like values? I know you said community, right? Mm-hmm. So do you like foresee yourself having like a strong community into your future? Is that something that you want to build going into your future? And do you think that's gonna like help support you?
Yeah. I don't know. I come from a Hispanic culture, actually. And so community is really important within my family, just like looking out for one another. And obviously I'm going to continue that when I get older, looking out for the people that I care about and, I don't know, people that just need help.
It's very admirable. Yeah, so like what I said, like, you know, staying on your purpose, working on yourself, and then like finding good friends for life is obviously like super important down the road, just so you can like have those guys to rely on whenever, you know, things get tough or whatever. So yeah, for sure, definitely important.
So how would you? Okay. I'm kind of assuming that you guys want kids. I'm not entirely sure. But how would you guys, if you had kids, how would you teach them, like value, like certain values that you want? Would it be like through religion, conversation, sports, etc.?
Yeah, I guess probably through sports. Learning that not everyone wins. I think that's a great mentality. Trying to have a nice sense of reality is my goal for if I have little Haley minions. So, I don't know, just teaching them that you're not always going to have it your way.
Haley minions. Yo.
Yeah, I would want little kids too. I don't know. I think I'd teach them through just like my, like, you know, the things that I do. Like I want them to, like, I think leading by example is very important. So like you shouldn't just, you know, tell them what's right and what's wrong. You should like actually show them. So, you know, just, you know, tell them to have good morals and show them that type of life. Not necessarily like religious morals or anything, just things that you hold high in your own heart. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can agree with that. One of my things is I grew up doing martial arts, and I think that's one of the best ways for kids to learn like certain values, you know, like confidence, perseverance, self-control, stuff like that. And especially respect too, because that's one of like the big things. Like whenever you enter like a martial arts school, you have to bow to the masters. You have to like show respect. If they tell you to do push-ups, do push-ups, shit like that. That's something that like I want my kids to learn, like right off the bat. And then same thing with religion. I think that religion's really important because it teaches them, you know, like to follow God and all of that. So I think all that stuff is really important.
Would you want your kids doing martial arts at like a young age?
100%.
Which one?
See, that's tough. I mean, I might start them in Taekwondo just because that's the one that I started in, and it might be the most practical. I mean, I would say jiu-jitsu is pretty practical, but if you're fighting more than one person, jiu-jitsu is useless. But if you're doing Taekwondo, then you could just like kick, punch, run away, and stuff like that. Or it also teaches you the confidence to yell. Like when you kick, you yell and stuff like that. That's what I want my kids to do because then they could yell and then somebody would go and help them. You know what I mean? I think that's good enough self-defense.
Can we hear your best yell right now?
No, I'm not doing that. I'll blast the mic.
Just like, yeah, I've seen your Instagram.
No, you see, bro.
Yeah. It's like you punch the board and you're like,
some stalking.
If you guys want to hear me yell, go to my Insta. Elijah_Vargas6922. Thank you for that. How much do you guys value religion though? I wanted to ask. Because I know you got that necklace got a cross on it. I just noticed.
Well, I think the great thing about religion is that you can make it the most of like what you want to make it. So you can believe in whatever you want to believe in. And it's like personal. So I don't know, I kind of I don't really appreciate those that try to like force religion upon you. So I think it's nice to believe in something. So I don't know, that's my opinion.
Yeah, my thing is I can agree with part of that where you say, like you kind of have to find it. I don't like being born into it and then like you don't really understand why like certain beliefs are so important. I think like eventually you find it and you're like, oh, yeah, this makes sense. I understand why we're doing that. That makes sense. Stuff like that. Like I think that's like one of the most important things.
Yeah. I definitely want to like make my kids go to church and all that.
Yeah.
Because I didn't grow up that way. So.
I see what you mean.
But I still found my religious path, I suppose. So I think that's a nice avenue.
I like having like the decision. You know what I mean? I feel like making the decision is important.
Yeah, I wish I had that decision because whenever I was a baby, I was like baptized without even really knowing it. So I was like instantly born into Christianity without any say of my own. So it would have been nice to be able to explore like my own avenues and everything. But I agree with Haley. I think it's kind of fucked up how Christianity is like it's become so globalized today, and now like communities back in my like state, they would go on like mission trips to like tribes that like have no contact with the rest of the world, and like we would just throw all this shit at them and be like, you gotta become Christian like right now. Like they're just like chilling on their own, like doing their own thing.
I think I've seen that on South Park.
Believing in their
On South Park?
Believing in their own religions, and then we come in like wearing our traditional clothes in our societies, bearing massive crosses, and like fuck, we probably have weapons and shit because these are like some wild ass tribes, and we're just like, you gotta become Christian. Like, it's kind of fucked up. So honestly, if it were me, if I could restart, like I wouldn't want that. Would I end up Christian? Maybe. Would I end up something else? Yeah, maybe. But like I don't know. I just think it's important that everyone else, find your own thing.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying though. But you are Christian right now, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
I want to ask both of you, how does your religion affect your perception of reality currently? So like when you see certain things, can you like explain it with God and stuff like that?
I don't know. I do think there's like a higher being. But if that's God, that's great. If it's not, that's great too. It's kind of like out of my personal being. Like, I don't know. I think religion, though, has a good, like, moral basis. I think it has definitely shaped me to, like, be more compassionate toward others and have more empathy. But, I don't know.
I can respect that viewpoint. I do think that God has a lot of control over he has, like, total control over everything. You know what I mean? But yeah. I can respect the viewpoint where you say,
I definitely think like everything does happen for a reason, whether that's like it being God.
Yeah, that's been scary for me though. Like I remember, I was just like scrolling on TikTok, and I get a message from somebody I haven't talked to in like years.
On TikTok?
Yeah, and they sent me a video, and I watched it, and I'm like, what? Wait, this is exactly what I needed. Like, shit like that happens, and I'm like, bro, like God has to exist. Yeah. It's so crazy.
Yeah, I do believe everything happens for a reason. So, I don't know. That's my thoughts.
Yeah, I agree that, like, Abrahamic religions have a lot of important, like, moral aspects to them within the scripture. Like, in Christianity, you're called to love your neighbor, hate the sin, not the person necessarily. So, like, I think there's a lot of good teachings within that. I think every religion has a lot of similar beliefs, though, so it's not just, my beliefs, it's not just Christianity or whatever. I think everybody in their heart's a good person with whatever they believe. So it really just comes down to, your morals and your background.
Yeah. And normally, like, this is how my mom explained it to me, like, the thing that gives you morality is your soul. So, like, when you see something bad, it, like, genuinely hurts your soul. Shit like that. So, that's basically how I was explained to it. But I want to ask you, I want to get into some something deeper. Do you guys think that there's an association between dreams and religion?
100% no.
Do you think no, like do you think it's just like chemicals in your brain, or do you think it's like
I don't know.
Messages from God?
I'm no neuroscience scientist, but I think it's just like what do they say, like someone in your dream, like you've always seen them before. It's like not a random person.
Yeah,
it's
no,
like someone
yeah.
on the streets, whoever's in your dreams. So I think it's just like your brain going through your memory. I don't know.
Yeah, so I think what you're talking about is like your brain can't like create a face.
It's more like
So-
scientific. I don't think it's like God telling you. I guess you can take
If
it
you
that
say
way.
if you say it's
That's nice if you
scientific,
take
you
it
could
that
also
way.
say that's God, because God, like he could have he's the creator of, like,
Possibly.
you know what I mean, like the human brain.
Possibly. Or it can just be like chimpanzees.
Yeah. No, but like the thing is, when I think about it, if it was just chemical reactions in your brain, how can you actually get like messages from it
I think it's
that
like
you
what
may or may not need?
what you take from it.
I think like these messages. So I agree with Haley. I think it's just like your chemicals and shit. Because whenever I get like personally, I've never had like a spiritual calling or anything in my dreams. Like God's never been like, all right, you need to read this scripture right now. Like that's never happened to me. Usually my dreams are just like memories from like a couple days ago or something, just like random shit or like really weird stuff. But I think like what you were talking about is maybe if someone's going through like a hard time in their life, or they like see something motivational a couple days ago, in their sleep they may, have some sort of calling, and you may think that's God, or maybe it was God, I don't know. But I don't know. Me personally, I just feel like all your dreams are just past experiences that you've already gone through.
Mm-hmm. I concur.
I know in like at least one or two of the stories in the Bible, they like straight up said that like it's supposed to like give a message. Like, when I don't remember his name, was talking to the king, and he was asking, the king asked him to interpret his dream, and he told him like this is what this means. And then eventually like that like the king had to do something in order to like save the whatever. I forgot the exact story clearly, but I know I've had a lot of like religious dreams that made me like come back to faith, you know what I mean?
That's nice.
Stuff like that. Or I've had dreams where like I had to make like significant not changes, but like different I had to go in with like a different perspective towards something. Cuz like I've had dreams where like somebody in my life died, and I had to like try to figure out what I would do if they died in my life, and like how like I'd go to their funeral, and then I try to like live it out, and then I'd mourn their death and shit like that. Those ones are sad. I call those tragedy deaths, but I feel like those dreams also teach you something. How to deal with loss and stuff like that.
So whenever you get a dream like that, do you just like try to become close with that person the next day, and like from then on?
Yeah, but it's also like an appreciation thing. Yeah, I know what you're saying though. What are like some of the I know you said that you had some weird fucking dreams. What are some of like the craziest, like most memorable ones that you've had?
Whenever I say like a crazy dream, I just mean like random shit, like LSD type shit. Like,
Yeah.
Like squirrels like being blasted out of a cannon or something.
Yo, what is this
It
Texas
doesn't have
shit,
like
bro?
it doesn't have like any symbolism or anything. It's just like random shit.
Yeah? What the bro?
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
Do you have
anything similar, Haley?
Can't say I have.
You haven't had any weird dreams?
No. What I dream about is like conversations, like me eating at the Brandeis dining hall. That's what I dream about. It's nothing like too deep.
Are you guys NPCs? Like, what the fuck? I have like the wet, like weird, like craziest dreams, bro.
When you think of a memory, oh, this is a really deep question. When you look back at memories, do you see yourself in the memory? Like, do you see your face and all that? Or is it more like a bird's eye view of the memory? Get what I'm talking
God's
about?
eye view.
If you will.
That's
Yeah.
more like astral projection.
So is that it?
So, but what do you see, like when you think about...
I think I'm not very good at visualizing things. I'm gonna start with that, but it's normally I might be in my perception. I'm not entirely sure.
Did you eat lunch today?
Yeah.
Looking back at eating lunch, do you see
But the
yourself
thing is, when
in
you
the memory?
when you explain that, now it goes to the bird's eye view because that's what I'm expecting. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But when you're just
I don't like
thinking about your day,
was,
do you like see the people around you like you're, I don't know, like in a virtual simulation, stuff like that?
I'm like loading right now. I'm trying to visualize. Yeah, you know what? You might be right. I think it might be no. Because then again, if it was like a bird's eye view, I'd probably see, because I know I was sitting under, Miguel, what's your roommate's name?
Jesse.
I was sitting under his bed, I'd probably see him. Unless it was like right, like the camera was like right above, like like my eyes was like right above my head or something, like, you know what I mean?
What about you, Austin?
I don't know.
You look at a memory, do you like see yourself in that memory? Because sometimes people like can see themselves, but it's only like, they only see like the back of their head, something like that. Like they never see their face.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that for me.
Whenever I think of like a memory, like from today, I guess, I don't know, I saw my roommate grabbing a basketball and going out to the room. So whenever I think about that memory,
like you don't see, yeah, that makes sense.
I don't
you don't
see myself. It's like my own eye perspective. You know?
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I see my roommate. I see the basketball. I don't see any of me or anything. Like
Yeah, I don't see me either. I think like when you explain that, then my memory became like that. You know what I mean? Because that's what I was expecting. When I look back, I know you mentioned like a virtual reality. I want to ask you guys, have you guys considered that like concept?
No.
No.
No, I think there's always gonna be humans and all that.
No,
robots
like,
are stupid.
Have you considered that like this is a simulation? Is what I mean.
Sometimes I think about that. Like I don't know, like when the trees look too green today.
Yeah.
Simulation.
It's gotta be like the most advanced simulation ever, where you can like the thing is
like sometimes I used to think about, you know, the game Minecraft.
Yeah.
Like how we play with the little robots. Sometimes I thought like we're just little robots in someone's Minecraft world.
Have you seen
That's
Rick and
cool.
Morty?
No.
There's an episode where Rick makes Morty play like this video game at an arcade that's like super futuristic. Morty goes in the game and he's this guy Ben, right? I think his name's Ben. I don't remember. So he's this guy like Billy or some shit, right? So Billy, he's born. He comes out the womb, and then he's just living life, and Morty's living Billy's life, right?
Interesting.
And he's making decisions for Billy, and he's doing all this shit, and he's literally like in Billy's body making decisions for Billy, and he's falling off his bike for Billy, and he grows up, he becomes he marries some woman, he's Billy, and eventually he's in the hospital and he dies as Billy, and then Morty wakes up from the game and he's like,
can't say
that wasn't real, because he like at some point he forgot like he was in the game. So what if like our perception of reality, what if it was something like that where like somebody just jumped in and they put on like a headset and they're Haley Kern for right now.
I mean, that'd be pretty cool.
And then like you die and they're like, oh, damn it.
So like reincarnation, right? do you think like, so what you were just saying about Billy? So Billy dies, right? But it's Morty.
Yeah, Morty wakes
Morty
up.
is Billy. So like once Billy dies, Morty's just like back alive. You think that's how it works for humans too? You think like I'm a simulation, but like there's someone actually behind me like playing me or whatever. You think like I can die and then I just like reawaken as someone else?
Possibly.
I think they go against Christianity.
But like what if
Some-
that person like playing my character is like already up in heaven or something? Is that
I see what you
possible?
mean. So it's kind of like a puppet thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
So somebody, it's kind of like a Sim City thing. Where like
Mhm.
you're like, or not Sim City, what's it called? It's just Sims.
Mhm.
We're just like making decisions. You're like, I'm gonna buy this house.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a dog and some shit. Yeah, no.
The thing that I like that goes against that is there's like really like people in bad situations. So let's say there is someone playing that character and you're like playing as a homeless dude. Like
That just means that you
like,
fucked up.
Why would you want to play as that?
I think like
Maybe you don't get an option though.
hot take. What if you like? Maybe they just fucked up. Maybe they just like fucked up and like jumped to somebody else, and now that person's an NPC.
Interesting.
That's a very hot take, though.
Possibly.
Do you think that there like are genuine NPCs out there?
Yeah.
I'm looking at one.
Yo, nah, that's.
I'm just messing. All right. On that note, I don't know, guys. Getting kind of hungry. How many questions are left?
I got one. So do you guys thinking about like, because I was gonna mention the Matrix when we were talking about simulation theory. Do you guys think that there's like if you think about dystopian movies, do you think that any one of them is close to possible in our future?
Hunger Games, definitely.
Really?
I
Wait,
feel like
why?
I could definitely win the Hunger Games. Not trying to be like, not humble, but just.
What skills do you have that you think that you would win the Hunger Games?
Do I really need a skill, or can I just have the weapons?
Catch the biggest fish.
Yeah. Be street smart. Have the weapons that I may or may not have to use. I think I would win it. That's just my take, though.
I think if all three of us were in the Hunger Games together right now, I'd probably win.
Yeah. What makes you think
'Cause
that?
I actually do have those skills. Like I'm literally Katniss Everdeen, bro. I can shoot the bow and arrow.
Interesting.
That's just me.
You think so though? You got. What about like Wall-E?
Yeah, dude. Wally's already the reality, bro. Like, whenever you see that space station thing, like those fat people in those little wheelchairs rolling around like ordering their smoothies and shit, like we're already there.
Yo.
What are your opinions about fat people, Austin?
What are your opinions on fat people?
I think everyone should, like, be able to do themselves, like, you do you. But I think it comes to a point where we shouldn't, like, congratulate people for being unhealthy.
Yeah.
That's my take.
I'm not gonna add to that.
I will add to that.
Okay.
I think glorifying obesity is fucking disgusting. Sorry if you're like viewing this but like I'm just telling you right now, like you gotta lose the weight, dude. Like go to the gym, eat a salad. You're just gonna feel better. Like there's a better way to life. You don't need to live like that.
Yeah, I agree. I do think to a certain point it can be genetics, but also to a certain point it is just motivation.
Yeah.
Hop on the
I don't know
train
if I'm
just a
allowed to
bit.
agree with that.
You are. It's your podcast.
I do, but
I was a fat kid once. I've got diabetes
Yeah.
in my family. Like it's not genetic. Just like lose the weight. It's not even hard.
I was a little chubster in middle school, I do have to admit, just a tad bit. But like Austin, one day I just woke up and realized I'm done. And
did
I
you
had the
did you
dreaded-
enjoy it? Like, were you did you enjoy being a chubster?
I did.
Quote
I
unquote.
think in my middle school brain, I didn't really realize that I should not be looking like that when I was like 12. So.
Yeah, that's a good point, because here's an interesting statistic. Like 1 in 5 kids in America are obese. Like, that's way too many. And then for adults, it's like 40% of adults are obese. Like, I remember whenever I'm like driving home from school or whatever back in high school, and I would be sitting in the left turn lane waiting for it to like finally flash yellow and I can go.
Just like counting the fat people.
Yeah. Do you ever do that too?
You count fat people crossing the
like,
street?
Yeah, I'm on a major road, like waiting for my turn. I'm not trying to get on my phone because I'm a safe driver.
Yo, I got a question.
And I see fat people just in their cars, and I'm like, just counting them. I'm like, damn, that's more than 50%.
I got a question. If you were in the Hunger Games, would you eat a fat? Like, do you think, like, would they be like your first, like, if you had nothing, like,
kill,
if
yeah.
you had,
But I don't.
like, if you had nothing other than nothing,
cannibalism, I don't think I would eat them. No.
like, no. If you
Like,
had,
just
to, like, if you
berries.
had to,
No. I think there's other avenues than eating people, like berries.
but like, if there was, like, if there was not, like,
And grass.
Russian sleep experiment, there's nothing except other people, like.
No,
You're in a, like,
I would
you're-
die than eat another person. I just feel like that's a certain level of cruelty where you shouldn't.
That's morality too. Going
Yeah.
back to that. What about you? Would you eat someone?
I think it depends on
Who it is? Would you eat Austin, Elijah?
you know, like if certain I have to be like I don't
Really
know.
hungry.
What?
I probably Yo,
If the Brandeis wasn't open one
What?
night, would you eat?
what race of people do you think is like yeah.
Now we're getting to like Theo Vaughn.
Yeah, no, I know he asked that question. I thought it was I had to ask it.
Would you eat a Viet?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Would you gut down a Viet?
That's crazy.
No comment. No comment on
Austin,
that
I would not eat a Viet.
you wouldn't eat a Viet, bro.
I would never eat a person.
Maybe someone with like more spice, you know.
More spicy, like a Mexican?
one.
Can I eat a Puerto Rican?
Is that against like what? You don't want to eat someone that's also a U.S. citizen or something like that?
No, like, cause I'm Puerto Rican. Like, if I ate another Puerto Rican, would that be wrong?
I think if you eat anyone, it'd be wrong.
But like,
That's a question for.
I mean, I guess we'll see, right?
Yeah.
Bro, that was a funny episode. I want to go through what we talked about.
The main caps.
Recap.
Recap. We're
Let's
gonna go.
debrief this
This is a
episode real
summary.
quick.
We talked about lip sync. At the very beginning. We talked
Yeah.
about where you guys grew up, activities you did, Austin's diet, Haley's fish, why you chose Creighton, your thoughts on Omaha as a city, and then eventually, we talked about
Dreams. If you would
Yeah.
eat people.
So-
What race is better than the other?
I may or may not have to cut that out. I guess we'll see, right? But I like to end each episode with advice that you guys might have. In general, like whether it's life, like catching like
I live by
lacrosse.
the statement, forgive your enemies, but never forget their names.
Damn.
That's deep.
It's kind of sick.
I can't add to that. That's good.
I don't know. Something for me is just like, I've been reading a lot of philosophy lately, and I think Henry David Thoreau's got a lot of good shit. So like, just live deliberately, suck out all the marrow of life, and just like live on your own terms. Just like, fuck the government and all that shit. Just like do what you want. Like, yeah.
Suck out all the marrow. Oh my gosh. Okay. That's good stuff though. That's good
What
stuff.
about you, Elijah? Do you have any advice for us?
I'd say I my viewpoint, because a lot, everybody that's, hopefully the people that are listening to this are in college. A lot of kids in college forget that their parents are probably paying for most of what they're doing. And why would you waste them putting you towards your future on just like bullshit? Like, why don't you try to set up the future that you need? Because you're like, otherwise,
live your life.
Yeah, my thing is like, I feel like if I don't succeed here, I'd feel bad to my parents because they spent so much money. So that's basically my advice. So like make the best, like have fun, but like to some extent you got to make it worthwhile.
Use your
don't
resources.
waste these years.
Like, if you're privileged, just like do what you got to do. Use your resources.
Yeah.
Put
So
yourself in a position to succeed.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I want to thank you guys for getting on this episode. There's lots of like crazy moments in here. I know I'll have plenty of clips to make.
Yes. We love to be here. Thank you for inviting us out, Elijah.
Of course.
Such a great time.
Lots of funny moments.
That's awesome.